Hey everyone, it's Living Dead Gal and welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than my usual. We are actually going to be taking a look at an online website and app called TheSimsTree. This allows you to put together your own Sims family trees to showcase your legacies and your dynasties. You can also publicly share them with friends and really put in a lot of cool details about your Sims families. I was lucky enough to be gifted a subscription to this service by TheSimsTree, so I wanted to shout out them and give them a huge thank you because I'm really excited for this. I have never actually put together a Sims family tree. I know, like, am I even a real simmer if I've never done my own family tree? It's been on my bucket list for a long time, I just have never gotten around to doing it. You know, I kind of look at what we have in the game, but that can be frustrating at times because you don't always want to load into your game to look at the family tree. And on top of that, everyone knows the family tree in the game gets kind of busted from time to time as you go further and further down into your generations and legacies. When I received this from them, I was so excited to actually build my own family tree for the first time. Most people, I think, actually used to use what is called the Plumtree website, which I never used, but I think a lot of people used that to put together their family trees. This, actually, the SimsTree website will allow you to import from that site if you still have those active and you'd like to import them over, which is a really cool feature. This kind of shows you how it works, how the family trees look, and it shows you all of the different tools that are available. A lot of these tools are really cool. You can create different dynasties. You can really customize the colors, the backgrounds, a lot of things to kind of make your family tree unique to your Sims family. There's a photo editor that's built in. There's a gallery feature, which is my favorite, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. You can also import a tree from the Plumtree app, and you can publish your dynasties in the gallery and share them with your community. And again, what's really cool about this is it's a desktop website, but there's also an accompanying app so that you can kind of edit on the go, which for me, I really like because there's a part where you can actually give your characters different descriptions and stories. And for me, when I'm like doing kind of like graphic editing of photos and stuff, if I'm on my desktop, I might not feel like writing out the story, but my stories kind of come to me like at night, late at night when I can't sleep, so I can pull out my phone and instead of sleeping, I can write a full story for my sim in the app, which is really convenient for someone like me. Anyone else who can't sleep at night because you're thinking about your Sims, let me know in the comments down below. And it has two versions. I'm going to be showing you what the premium subscription looks like. This allows you to create an unlimited number of family trees. You can import your tree using this. You can do a lot more customization with the paid version, but there is also a free access that you can try to actually see if you like it, if you like the interface. And then if you want to upgrade, you can do that to get all of the like additional customization features. So when you first kind of log into your backend, you can actually set up like your own profile picture and all of that. So I was able to just put in like my own profile picture, my name, all of that good stuff. And you can start creating your dynasties. So you'll end up starting with like a blank dynasty. So right now I'm actually doing one with my Whimsy family. I thought it would be kind of fun to do a throwback to them. Any Whimsy fans, yes, the series will finally be returning in March. This is probably the family that is the biggest right now, other than 100 Baby, but that's the 100 Baby challenge. But this is my family that's probably the biggest right now and has the most generations because I'm a slow Sims player, guys. I'm only 3 generations deep because I have a hard time letting go of my Sims, so I play really slowly. This is what the kind of family tree can look like here. So you can actually set up a photo for your dynasty. So you can pick like an avatar card. I just have a picture of the 2 founders, one of their wedding pictures that I uploaded here, and you have a public link that it will give you. And you can add some different gallery photos. Haven't added those yet, but I have added some within the tree, so I'm going to show you that. But you can keep a bunch of photos of your families here. If you click the edit tool down at the bottom, you can swap out your photo. You can change the name of the dynasty, and you can also write up a description if you'd like. I'm only like just getting my feet wet with it, so I haven't filled in a lot of stuff, but I'm going to show you kind of the different things that you can do. You can also add additional fields. So if you wanted to incorporate anything else in here, you just can give it a title and text. I don't know if there's anything additional that I would add for like the dynasty level, but I'll show you where I added them with some of the Sims. And it auto populates the number of generations as you add Sims to the tree. Now there are some cool customization features to the tree itself and how you can do the design. The user interface, it's pretty easy to navigate once you get used to it. At first I was a little confused. So there is a really handy how to use link right here. And this has a step-by-step guide that can kind of walk you through it. So you can click whichever language you need the instructions in, and then it has a bunch of jump links so you can kind of jump down to the different features. So if you're struggling a little bit like with the icons and not knowing what to do, you can use this set of instructions to help guide you through. So I click this button here to do the tree styling. They have several backgrounds that are already uploaded in here, which are really nice. I had tried out a couple of them, so I'll show you what they look like with the different backgrounds. This one I actually think is really, really nice. I really like this green color. I might swap my background to be more similar to that, but right now, I actually have a custom background that I put in. So this is my custom background. I just put it together with some stock pattern that I found because the sort of sunflower and daisy and honeybee imagery relates a lot to this family and their legacy. So it's really cool that you can kind of put in whatever background you would like, and they have a bunch of different gradients and really pretty options just available here, but then you can also kind of customize it to your taste. There's tons of different things you can do with the styling. You can change the color of the lines. You can change the thickness of the lines. You can change the border color of your avatars. I kind of kept everything default right now because I liked how it looked, but I might experiment a little bit more later. You can also change the avatar radius. So right now they're circular, but I think if I did, let me see what happens if I do 50. It's been a while since I've messed with like radius stuff. Yeah, so you can actually change it to be square if you want to change around your avatar radius. So if you don't want the standard circles, you can do something like this, which is really cool. But I prefer the circles for the family tree, so I'm gonna stick with that. And then there is also a heirs line color. You can have it show the heir line. So you might notice that on my tree, I've got this like light blue line here. This actually leads you down to the generation heir, because for my challenge, I mean, they're all probably gonna have, you know, children in the future, so I'll have a lot more to add to this tree, but that is the line I'm following with the Whimsy challenge. And you can choose to show pets or not. You can choose if you want to show last names or just first names. You can choose the color of the full name. You can show if they're alive or dead. And you can also change the color of the status. So you can customize almost everything. I haven't found a place where you can actually like change the font or anything like that. I love the font that they're using. And if you mess up and you hate it and you just want to go back to default, they do have a default styles button here. Now comes the part of how to actually get your Sims populated into the tree. So what's really cool about this is that instead of just like adding your Sim directly here on the tree, there's actually this tab for My Sims. And you actually get to add in all the Sims that you want to populate on the tree. So you can add a ton of different Sims here and you can fill in their information. I did all of this from memory, so I need to actually go in my game so I can fill out everybody's information. But if I go to our founder, Riley here, so this is Riley. I put her first name, last name. You can select gender, male, female, or other if you want them to be gender non-binary. You can choose dead or alive, and you can always come in and edit this, so you can kind of keep your legacies updated in real time. For kind, it's just if you want to do person or pet. I'll show you how to add pets as well. Type, this is really for like the different species. So everyone right now in this tree is human, but if you were doing like occult gameplay, you could have, you know, vampire, mermaid, spellcaster, alien, werewolf, any of those. I can't believe I almost forgot werewolf. You can add in their character traits here. My Sims have 5 because I used the 5 traits mod. You can also have life goals. I think this is meant to be like aspirations, but I feel like you could really tweak it to be however you want. I just put her aspiration in, and you can add additional fields. So for me, with all of them, I added this current life stage additional field. So I just wanted to kind of keep track of where they are as far as their life stage. Right now she's an adult. When she's an elder, I'll come in and update that. I'll show you, I did actually also add a career stage for the kiddos. Riley's kind of like self-made, so she doesn't have that stage in here, but I added that like status, which is really cool. But you can add anything you want. You could do their preferences, maybe like their likes and dislikes, which I think would be really cool because we have all those features with The Sims. And I mean, you could really get into details if you wanted to do like left-handed, right-handed, all that cool stuff. I'm sure there's tons of fields you could add, and I believe the fields you can add are unlimited. You can also write up a description. Riley is the only one that I wrote a description for. I was not in much of a writing mood when I was putting this together. I was in more of a like graphic and like organizational mood. So again, that's why the app will come in handy for me, because that's when I'm kind of relaxed at night. That's when the creativity flows and I'll be a little bit more ready to write. But you can put a bio, you can put as much information as you would like in here to kind of give your sim a description. So you just want to add each sim in here manually, and then they'll be available for you to pull into your family tree. There's also a pet section. So I was able to add in the Gen 2 Air Iris. She has a pet, Noodle, our dog Noodle here. So I was able to add Noodle as well. Again, they've got all of the same fields. You just want to make sure that for kind, you select pet versus person, because this will affect how they show up on your family tree. So if we go back to the Whimsy family, so right now, this is in view mode. So I can kind of highlight and kind of follow the line. So I really like that. It sort of fades out everybody that you're not following. So I kind of follow down the airline here, which is really nice. But this is my current family tree. There are people I need to add, but I'm going to kind of go into that. I also picked them because there's a few complications when we get into Gen 2 and Gen 3. If we start at the top here, so I have my two founders here. While I'm in just the view mode, I can actually see a lot of really cool things about my sim. So if I click on the sim, you can see the sim card. So this is Riley. This is her profile photo. This is my favorite feature. This is where you can add in gallery photos, which I love this. So I was able to put in some of their wedding photos. I don't have all of my like high-res photos. I just grabbed these off of Twitter, but I am going to go back through my old hard drive and find all of my old photos of them and update this with the photos, because if you're like me and you take lots of screenshots, I have to constantly move them over to different hard drives. And then all of the same information is displayed that you saw in the edit tool. So this actually shows like the bio that I wrote for her current life stage, which I added as an additional field. So I'll show you from this perspective. So this, once we get a generation in, is Iris. So now in hers, you can kind of see the difference between hers and Riley's. So again, I've got her photo here. I've got a gallery of just different photos. Again, these are kind of low res because I just grabbed them off of my Twitter feed, but I am going to upload some of my more high res photos of them. But I love that you can kind of come and look at all the different memories that you have of your Sims, and you can upload them in here. And I mean, I want to get like all of Iris's life stages, like baby, toddler, you know, all that good stuff, and get some photos of her from there. You can add the parents as well. So now I can see her parents here, Riley and Jack, and the pet Noodle. And then again, we've got all of her information, and it just, if you don't enter anything into a field, then it'll be blank. So like if you don't want to have that they're a human listed, if you just leave that field blank, it won't show up here, which is really nice. So because I don't have a bio for her, it doesn't show bio in like an empty space or anything like that, but eventually I'm gonna write one for her. Now what's also nice is it can show the relationships of the partners. So there are different icons for different relationships. Jack and Riley are married, so they have these little ring icons. This is a little strange. So this is Brandon. Brandon is the father of Iris's biological child, Sunny. So I listed him as her ex, so that's why there is the like heartbreak icon, even though they were technically never in a relationship. Now Jimmy here right now currently is just her friend. There's no romantic relationship between them. However, in my series, Iris is currently pregnant with Jimmy's child because they agreed to have a science baby together. So that is why I have him here, because I want to be able to put, when that new baby comes, I want to add another line for that new baby. The only thing that's a little bit strange is that all of her children come from this sort of central line. So that would be my piece of feedback there, is that I'd like to be able to delineate it a little bit further, because Brandon is here. Brandon is the father of Sunny. Jimmy is going to be the father of Iris's next baby. And Shauna, Akeem, and Dante are all Iris's adopted children. So I would like if I could maybe have them display like solely under Iris, but I understand why it's set up the way it's set up. The other cool thing is it's going to show her pet right here. I love how it shows the pet kind of like as an add-on to them. I absolutely adore that, and I think that's great, and I want to add more and more pets. Now this gives me like more incentive to add pets to all my families, because I just think it looks so cute on the family tree. So the way that you set this up, right now, again, I'm just in view mode and I'm kind of showing you how it looks and how it displays. Now if I want to edit it, you need to toggle it onto this edit mode here. Now this allows you to add relationships between different characters. So for Iris here, if I wanted to, when she has her baby, what I would do is I would go ahead and add her baby as another sim, and then you can click the add button. This then gives you this feature here. Now, if I want to, I can kind of leave this blank for now since I don't have a picture, but you can go to your settings, and this is where you actually would select your sim. So I would need to create a profile for the sim before I can add them there. If you made a mistake and you don't want them, it's got a little trash can tool. And another thing you can do, so let's say that I get down to the point of Gen 4 and Sunny has a child. So I can add a couple things here. If I want to add a partner for Sunny or someone with a relationship to Sunny, they have all these different relationship selections. You have partner, spouse, ex, friends, engaged, divorced, brother, sister, and widow or the widower. And then if you want to add another generation, you just click that plus sign, and then that gives you down to 4 gens. And then again, I would go here, I would click my settings, and I would select my Gen 4 sim. So another small piece of feedback, and the TheSimsTree did tell me, if I had any feedback to give that to them, so I wanted to include it in this. One of the complicated things that I have going on here is that Sunny also has another sibling that is currently not on this tree. I haven't added them because when they aged up to a teen, the game gave them some crazy CC, but it's her brother, his name is Quentin, and I need to add him to this tree once I give him his CC makeover. But Quentin is not Iris's child. Quentin is actually Brandon's child. Brandon being Sunny's father and Iris's ex, as far as how I have it mapped in the tree. But the thing is, I can't add additional items for Brandon here. Now, you can add a relationship, so I could give Sunny a brother-sister, so I'm just gonna throw Dante on here, even though he's already on the tree. But I can't, there's no way for me to actually show, like, that connection. So I'm hoping that maybe in the future there would be options for some of those more messy entanglements. It could be that I'm kind of like building things wrong because I'm very new to family trees, but I would like to be able to have that idea because actually Brandon is also married someone new now, and I'd like to kind of be able to feature that sim here as well. But it's okay because it's not entirely necessary, but it would just be nice if I could add that feature, like if you could get into more relationships the further you go. When I add this sibling feature here, you see it immediately kind of ties them. So any tree that they appear on, their partners or, anyone they have a relationship with, it's going to be added here. So probably what I'll end up doing is for Sunny's brother, Quentin, I will add him as the relationship to her, and I will, in his character card, I'll identify Brandon as his parent. So you still kind of have those connections that you can see. I would like a way to kind of map them on the tree. I did spend some time on this. I took, just the kind of mugshot photo of my Sims. I think I might go back and take some posed photos of them just to kind of have, show their personality a bit more. I definitely want to go in my game, make sure I have all their traits, because I unless I write it down, I'll forget what everyone's traits are. So I went by memory for most of them, but some of them I could not remember all of their traits. But I think it's really fun and really cool, and I can't wait as this family grows to kind of expand on this. I want to set this one up too for my 100 baby challenge, because that one, keeping track of all those kids, is going to be so much fun, and like all the baby daddies or donors. I will probably also put a public link to this family tree so you guys can kind of look at it as it changes and grows in the video description. I'll also put a link to the TheSimsTree website as well if you're interested in trying it out for yourself. And again, there's a completely free trial that you can try first, and then if you want some of the other features, you can consider getting the pro subscription if you would like, if that is, the right value for you and something that you find important to use. I personally really like this. I definitely want to keep this subscription, and I'm going to have a lot of fun putting my family trees together and sharing them with you guys. Like, I think that's going to be so fun to be able to share them with you guys. And it'll be really helpful for me from a storytelling standpoint too in my Let's Plays, honestly. Like, every time you start a new season with a new generation, it'll be nice to have this to refer back to. So anyway, guys, that is it. That is the overview. I really like this site so far. I would definitely recommend it. I think it's really cool. There's, a few little areas that I mentioned, like as far as like if you have half siblings, and also like these children are adopted, so I'd love to have different ways to kind of indicate different genealogies on the tree. Beyond that, I think, this website, like they're constantly working on changes and improvements, so I'm hoping for a little bit more of that stuff in the future, maybe some font customization and things like that. But honestly, for like just a starting point, this is amazing. It's so cool. It's easy to use once you get the hang of it, and it's just so fun to be able to add all your Sims and pop them in and set up the different relationships. And it's really tailored to, again, The Sims, which is nice. And if you liked this video, please do hit that thumbs up button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!